I'm going to cut right to the chase. Make a motion to establish a police commission under section 150 of the town law, and further that the commission would be a 5-person commission with 3 of the members being Kevin Copeland, term to expire December 31st, 2012, James Spellman, term to expire December 31st, 2013, and Dave Butler, term to expire December 31st, 2014, leaving 2 seats open to be filled by the town board.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, the only discussion, this police commission has been out of commission for 2 years now. There are no unexpired terms because those ended when the commission ended. We had a ruling on that from the Supreme Court. That commission ended, it's over and done with. And ergo, any commissions.
I didn't say these terms had expired, I simply said appoint them and their terms will expire. I didn't say they had expired.
How do you get a
No, I
commission
know
out
what
of
you're saying.
1 or 3 in section 150?
Okay, hold on a second. My feeling is that if and it seemed like the last time that we had a majority of people that wanted to re-implement this commission, if in fact that's the case, I think we do it right. You know, first we establish the commission. If you're going to establish a commission, you've got to have a charter, you've got to have a bylaws, or you at least should. Then on top of that, and we've already gone through this earlier in the meeting, I think if, you know, once you get that established with the charter and bylaws, then you go out, as we just described when Don was going through the process, you advertise and say, we've got openings. And you take those resumes or whatever you want, and you fill the positions based on that. If that's what everybody wants, and what I heard before, and we never came to a consensus of what everybody wanted on a commission or an advisory committee or whatever. But if you truly want something that's going to be an unbiased, because I heard that a lot, you know, take the politics out of it, then I think you ought to take, you know, the old commissioners and leave them out of it. You know, we've had one of the 3, Dave, and you know, was on there from day 1 of that commission. And I think maybe it's time to get some new blood on that. And I think now's the time, you know, if we have this procedure, and we went against it one time, I guess at least I know, we voted to not follow the rule, and are we going to do that again? Because that's basically what this is saying, is that we would start a commission and we're just going to appoint these people. But now we're in violation of that procedure. Second of all, and I'll refer this to council, but I think under 150, it's a 3-member board, and if you go to 5, and if you go to 5, I think you're talking about new legislation, which means you're going to have a public hearing, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I'll ask Herb about that, I'm not sure.
Yeah, under subsection 2 of 150, it says, the town board of a town in which such a police department has been established at any time by resolution may establish a board of police commissioners for such town and appoint 1 or 3 police commissioners who shall, at the time of their appointment and throughout their term of office, be electors of such town and who shall serve without compensation and at the pleasure of the town board. If the town board shall only appoint 1 such police commissioner, it shall in addition designate 2 members of the town board to serve as members of such police commission. The town board may also, by resolution, designate the supervisor to serve as police commissioner, and when so designated, such supervisor shall have all powers of and perform all duties of such board of police commissioners. When either of such boards of police commissioners shall have been established, or supervisor designated as police commissioner, such board of police commissioners or police commissioner shall have and exercise all the powers relative to police matters conferred upon the town board pursuant to this article. So it's 1 with 2 town board members or 3. If you're going to deviate from this, it has to be done by local law after public hearing. That's the problem that they had when we came in here before. They created this entity as a hybrid, and they didn't do it by local law, they tried to do it by resolution. That's why the judge threw it out, sustained us in invalidating
All
it.
right, and I would submit that under municipal home rule, got an Attorney General's opinion dated April 2nd, 1997, town board may amend or supersede section 152 of the town law.
152 or
152 in
157?
parentheses.
Okay.
Of the town law to establish a board of fire commissioners consisting of 5 members. And it goes on to explain, and in conclusion, we conclude that the town board may amend or supersede section 150 of town law to establish a board of police commissioners consisting of 5 members.
You said fire commissioners before.
Police commissioners consisting of 5 members.
I'd have to see that, and I still think you would, under municipal home rule law, I still think you have to do it with a local law. I think you can establish it with 5 or 7 or 9, but I think you
It
have
doesn't
to
say 7,
follow.
it says 5.
No, but I think you have to follow the procedure set forth in the municipal home rule law, which says you do it by a local law after a public hearing.
And that's what this says.
Okay, I'm just,
I'd like to add, that one thing I do disagree with, I mean, this is a powerful position, as everyone's saying. To put this out in the paper and to get just anybody in here, I don't feel that works. I feel the only way this would work, again, is if people from the actual board bring people forward that they know and trust and have, you know, done a background check on them. And that's, I believe, who should the police commission be. I don't believe it should be in a paper that anyone can come and apply. I mean, it's not something you put on monster.com. So in saying that, I have 2 interested and qualified people in consideration for the action tonight. Pending background checks
Well,
are the following.
but we've got a motion in a second.
I do, but I want to bring this up. I want to bring Dr. Peter
Okay,
Acquaviva.
well, but we gotta act on this motion.
Right, but he can amend his and add mine if
Well, I
I...
want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, okay. So I have 2 candidates that I feel that would work good for the town. It's new blood, and I feel that they would work and help in this position. The first one is Dr. Peter Acquaviva. He lives at 104 Viburnum Lane in New Hartford in the 2nd Ward. And I also Rocco Di Benzo, which lives at 112 Pebble Creek Lane, New Hartford in the 1st Ward. So I'd like to include them.
I will amend my motion to add those 2 seats,
Adam?
rounding it out to 5, filling those 2 seats that were open.
So you're closing the process to any town resident that's interested or open by saying, this is not really about a police commission, this is about who we want on the police commission, and that is so wrong.
Well, that was one of the things that was brought up. I mean, I disagree with having a commission altogether, but now, you know, Rich and Don and everybody were saying, we gotta take the politics out of this. You just put the politics right back in it.
Well, the only way we take it totally out, I guess, is have somebody, is have the residents vote on the actual people. Because again, if you get resumes from the paper, are you gonna put your name to them?
We accept a bucket load of resumes and we pick the cream of the crop, Paul.
Well, how do you pick the cream of the crop if you don't know the crop to pick?
What do you mean?
What do you mean you don't know?
What do you mean you don't? These are people that live in this town. What do you
Correct.
mean we don't know them? How can you say this? We want, no, Paul, this isn't, we want so-and-so, but we don't want so-and-so. That's
Well,
outrageous.
I think it's the same, we're appointing them as board members, that's what we have a right to do, just like Pat appointed himself to the police commission, and he didn't appoint anyone
He
else.
didn't appoint
I
himself.
didn't appoint myself.
Well, I mean, you're the police commissioner, I mean,
No,
I'm just
no.
saying.
Whoa, whoa,
Standing
we
committee.
all are. The minute we got rid of the police commission,
We
the
all are
entire
the
board,
police
by fact or by law, becomes the police commission. That's,
he wasn't appointed.
You're talking about the standing committee, not
other
the
point
police
is-
commission.
These 3 people coming on that were previously on there have their terms expire. Actually, one of them doesn't even serve a full year. So there would be, in 2 years, there would be 2 more openings and solicit more people.
So let me see if I
one
got
of
this
them did
right.
serve 2 full weeks, didn't Dave?
Butler didn't serve at all, hardly.
No, I know it, but Copeland expires this year, and we're already looking
No,
at.
no, there's no expiring this year.
Right, there is.
Their terms expired
That's
in
right. So
February
I'm
of
asking you to reappoint
2010,
them. and they would expire this year.
And you wonder why I got a problem with this. The biggest ward doesn't get any pick at all.
Yes, they do. Robert Benzo lives in your ward.
No, he's your pick.
But he's from your ward.
He's your pick.
So?
The first ward, 45% of the town doesn't get a pick on the police commission, and you shut it off, you shut the process. Oh, shame on you. Shame on you. And shame on you too, Richard. Shame. Like Gomer Pyle says, shame, shame, shame. It's out. Where's the balance? Where's the fairness? Where is the representation? The biggest ward gets nothing.
There's somebody here from your ward.
No, he's your pick. And you want him in redistricting.
Well, you just said you were going to put in a paper and pick from the community.
Exactly.
Well, there you
Open
go,
the process up. Be fair.
Be fair.
Be fair. Open the process up.
Okay.
This is not about a police commission. This is about, I want my guy on the police commission.
My guy, you stuck me with this last week saying you're the guy, make your decision. So I made a decision.
Well, good.
So there you go. So there's my decision. I picked two people I feel are ethical and have been credit, and here they are. They're two people.
A political deal of the worst sort has obviously been agreed upon before this meeting. Dave gets his 3, you get your 2. Richard, you want the police commission back, and so, hey, it's over, Pat, as far as I'm concerned. But I just want the public to know, I want the public to know, to watch this video and watch what happened here tonight. This is your government, your town board in action, and what's happening here is shameful. The process is closed, the public was shut out, and it's wrong.
You still need a local law.
Pardon me?
You still need a local law to have the 5 on.
Well, that's what I said, but Dave has overruled me.
No, I didn't know, what I said was, I have an attorney general's opinion, which you were not aware of, what you said, and you'd like to see. That's what you said.
Listen, you asked me to pick, I brought 2 new people to the table, and it's not like, I just picked them out of my hat, and there they are. So.
Where's my 2 people, Paul? Where's Rich's 2 people? Where's Pat's 2 people?
Can I make a suggestion?
Why does Dave get 3?
Can I make a suggestion? Table it to April 1st. Let me,
April 1st?
April 4th. Let me call counsel at the Association of Towns, who I dealt with before, as to whether or not that is still good law, because you said it was from some time ago. If Don has any other names, or Rich has any other names, throw those names out and vote them.
I still, in any event, if we're gonna bring it back, you've got to open up the process. And you can't,
Well,
it can't bring back lifers. That's wrong too.
well, I agree with them, because, I mean, we have a policy, we have a town policy, and, you know, either we're going to stick with it, we just amended it,
Right.
why don't we just get rid of it if we're not going to follow it?
Well, you know, the lifer was brought back under your, before you went on vacation. The lifer was brought back several times.
He couldn't even follow his own, he couldn't
I'm
do
just
math.
saying- I'm just telling
Their
you.
own bylaws said 2 terms, and he can't add more than 1 and 1 and 2.
Who reappointed him? The board.
You understand the politics of it, and it was wrong.
Well,
And now it's been
that was
corrected,
your
and you're
board.
bringing back, it
That
was
was your
wrong.
board.
It was wrong. And now it's been
You haven't
corrected,
heard just
and you're
exactly
bringing
what
back the
I'm
worst of the worst, Dave.
No, bringing back. people
Not
that were on there
reflecting on the
before.
person individually, but the politics, the system of how it comes to be and who's there.
Okay, I don't agree with that.
That is awful. It's malodorous.
Well, anyway, I think, you know, Dave came up with an attorney general's opinion, we had an opinion from town council. I think you ought to wait. I mean, if you're going to do this, let's do it right. There's no sense in doing 5 people and then you come back and say you can't do it, and then you gotta readjust it. I also would like to ask the board, like I started with, if you're going to do this, let's do it right. At least look at the fact that we've got a policy in the town here. Let's follow it, okay? You know, and with regards to what you said, Paul, I'm sorry, but we advertise for a police chief in the newspaper. So, I mean, I don't know why we can't advertise for board of commissioners on the.
Did you know the police chief at all?
not the three that came in for interviews.
No,
I
did
knew
you
this
know?
guy.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I didn't know him beforehand.
Well, I mean, somewhat.
Well, I knew what he looked like. Get that good-looking guy in the back, we went. Anyway, I would ask the board that you hold off until the next meeting. Let's consider whether you wanna go out and get applications. I mean, if you really wanna do this, let's look like the fact that we're putting together a commission. As a lot of people, you weren't here at the time, Paul, but, you know, it was being bantered around that. Let's make it non-political, that's why we want a commission. Let's make it so that there's a liaison situation here. If you come in and you just start throwing people on without going through the process, and it's not like we don't have the process, we have the policy. You know, now we're going to have to make a resolution, I would think, to void the policy in this and bring these people on board with not going, abiding by it. If we're going to do it, I would just ask that you wait and consider these things. It just, anyway.
The only thing I would consider is going back to 3 and voting on a 3-member tonight.
I think that you can legally do.
Well, I don't have a problem, I mean, if that's what you want to do, but I
You
still,
still want those 3, right, Dave?
Yes.
The smallest ward with the smallest number of residents gets all the police commissioners, and therefore, if we want 4 police patrols in the village, that's what happens. That's what happens, Paul, when you centralize that power like that.
If you pick the wrong people, that's what happens. I don't think you're gonna have all the village patrol in their neighborhood. I mean,
He
I
just
don't see it
named 3
happening.
people from the 3rd ward. 3 people from the 3rd ward. If there's gonna be a 3-member commission tonight, he named 3 people from the 3rd ward.
One of which comes off in less than a year.
well, wait a minute,
No,
see,
Kevin lives up on the hills.
He's from the 3rd ward.
well, wait a minute, we don't even know what the terms are, and that's what I mean. We don't even have a charter for this, we don't have bylaws for
It's a
this.
5-year term.
Well, then how does he come off in 2 years?
Because we're only appointing him for 1 year.
Well, you know, who decides that?
That's right, exactly. So that he is not there an extended period of time.
Can I see the Attorney General's opinion so that I can run them? Did you run it to make sure it's
But
still good?
anyway, I think, we've been through this twice now, I think there needs to be some homework. I mean, in all honesty, folks, this was brought up a number of times before, and I just said, bring in what you want, and we'll talk about it. But I think we ought to follow the procedures that are were established by the board sometime ago.
I talked to Paul about this, and I actually mentioned that if you were gonna bring back a commission, do it local law, and it's that, it would be somewhere along the line of, upon election, a board member is a police commissioner. If you wanted to appoint a person in his stead from his ward, you could, so that you could be represented. That way it'd be balanced, Paul. They're not even talking about trying to balance this, and I'm just seeing it, well, it's been 3 go here, 2 go there.
Well, I picked somebody from
And
the
I'm
ward, I mean, I
dumbfounded.
thought it would be.
No.
I thought it would be equal, actually.
Your pick. When I send out a,
Well, that's contradictory to what you're saying, my picking in your ward.
when I say a message, when I send out a message to my ward saying, I'm looking for some police commissioners from my ward, but Paul already picked,
All right, well, Don,
Paul
let's see
already
if we
made
come
my
with
pick.
somebody you absolutely don't know and you pick them.
No.
Okay, I bet you don't do that.
We
Don.
all, no.
Okay.
We all, at least open the
Right.
process up.
Okay, open it, but pick somebody you know. That's cool, let's do that then. That makes a
No.
lot of sense, Don. You're not gonna pick anyone you don't know, so let's be honest.
All right,
Don't sit here and belittle what I'm
All
doing when you're gonna do the same thing.
Okay.
It's wrong.
We've got a motion, we've got a second on here. We've had a lot of discussion on this. And the motion again is,
Appoint a police commission, 5-member commission. Appoint the 3 people with 2 open seats.
and this was seconded by Paul?
Well, I brought the other 2.
Okay, Rich was second. Okay, that's the motion on the floor, that's what we gotta vote on. Okay? Let's take a roll call vote. Paul?
Well, does that include the 2?
No, it includes his
So
resolution.
what does he do, re-amend it then?
No, I'm not at this point, you can't.
We gotta vote on what's on the floor, which is a 5-member committee, or commission, the 3 members that Dave mentioned, and 2 open seats.
So we're gonna pick 3, and then the 2 are open now for,
We're voting on the resolution. The resolution is to establish a 5-member police commission with Kevin Copeland, Jim Spellman, and Dave Butler filling 3 of the positions. That's all that's on there now, and there's a second to that.
Did you read that?
Yes.
I think that says what the municipal home rule law says, that by local law, the town can change it to a 5-person board, which you can by local law.
So we can't make this resolution.
I've already said that once, and that's my opinion, but I just wanted to show Dave that if he reads the portion I've highlighted.
Okay, gentlemen, okay, thanks, sir. Gentlemen, now we have a resolution on the board, which, according to council, is not legal.
so we'll come back next month then, right?
Well, we
My
gotta act on this
suggestion is you
motion.
table it, because the way I read that is different. Do you read it the way I read it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So you need a local law to go to 5.
But you don't need a local law to go to 3.
Correct. Exactly.
And then I urge the board to take my recommendation that every board member is a police commissioner and can appoint 1 person instead. And you guarantee a balance in the town. You will have your area represented. I will have my area represented. You will have your area represented, and you, Richard, will have your area represented. And Pat has the trump card of drawing anybody from any ward he wants.
But if we do that, that's only, I mean, you got 5-year terms, and we're only here for 4 years.
Then, and I'm saying.
So you go over 1 year, and a new person that comes in gets to pick in the second year?
What I'm saying is that when a board member leaves and a new board member comes in, is that they have the option of sitting as a police commissioner themselves, of leaving the person that's appointed there previously, or appointing a new person.
So in other words, these may not be 5-year terms.
They may not be 5 years, they would run concurrently with the defined terms of board members.
Well, what Dave is suggesting is proper, though, that when you initially create it, you stagger the terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you had 5. That way, every year, you're replacing 1 member. That's very often the way it's done.
Right, and in the town board, we give the public the opportunity to replace board members every 2 years. What's the
Right.
big deal?
So
Well, you don't want all 5, I'm sorry, you don't want all 5 coming due in 1 year.
And they won't, because you got 3 board members running one time and 2 running the next.
Well, my idea is if we're gonna table it today, I think what we should do is, so everybody gets a fair pick, and we could bring the people back also that he has, if wanted by him, and everybody can get a fair, I say we go to a 7-member local law, then with 150, right? Then we would do that, and everybody would have their fair pick. And we have 4 more picks on the table then.
And I only ask,
If we're not gonna do the 5 with the 2 tonight, and
7 is a lot of people.
well, the other thing is that I would ask if you're gonna do a local law, is that you begin to, you take away some of the financial ability of the board of a police commission to spend money that we don't wanna spend.
Well, you bring up a good point, Don. I mean, if you're going to go with a 5-member board, you gotta do the local law anyway. Why not revise it to what you want it to?
Exactly. Define your powers more critically of what their mission and goals are, what their powers are, and what they absolutely cannot do.
Should be a 150.
Well, then, you know,
Well, again, Dave, I mean, if it's a 150, then you're talking a 3-member board, 3-member commission. But no matter what it ends up being, I still think that this should not be political to the nature that
no,
we
me
just.
too, I don't, listen, I got nothing,
it's.
Anyway, we've got this,
I just don't wanna see.
Dave, you got that
Ward
5
one
member,
cut out
which I
of
think
the
has
process.
got to be taken off the table.
I'll take that off the table, it's a 5-member, but the 3 members stay.
You wanna make a new motion for 3?
Police commission, 3 members, and those 3 individuals
Okay.
reestablish a 150 police commission
Yes,
and to appoint 3 members,
yes, as I've said before.
as previously said, with staggered terms.
Correct.
Second to that motion?
Second.
Discussion? Okay, this fills up three things, you got, no.
So it's three that's over with.
That's over.
It's not to say you can't bring it back to a 5 after a local law.
Correct,
Or we just start out with a 5 or 7 local law, right?
correct.
We gotta start it with 3.
And start it with 3.
What?
Well, you could start with 7, couldn't you?
Well, it's
By
a
local
local
law,
law, you
sure.
can start with anything you want.
So we actually started
Well,
with
wait a
7.
minute, why don't we have council come back with, on 4 solid 4s, as far as
Oh, no,
what's
what he's
legal.
got says what I just said.
Yeah, but
It's
5, you
consistent
said,
with the
you
statute.
said, did it say 5 or 7?
No,
Said-
No.
It said-
Says
Well, you
five.
said, yeah, well,
No,
you're saying 7.
7 is,
No, he rescinded his motion.
Well, it
It's
could have
now
been 5 or
3.
7.
No. you
the only
say-
thing you can vote on tonight is 3 members.
Right.
Right, but we could have 5 or 7, that's what I read in the Attorney General's opinion.
Yeah.
After a local law.
After a local law.
Right, and they could use one, they could adopt 150, but still be a 7 member.
Right.
Okay, well, that's, I feel we should do that then, so we have a couple more picks.
Don?
So,
Yay.
So is that a no?
yeah, that's a no until we finalize it the right way.
And I say no, so it's 3-2 then. All right.